What's up, Misfit Nation? I am your host of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast, Matt the Misfit, and tonight we're going to go over Monday Night Raw for October the 3rd, 2022. It's the go-home show for one of the go-home shows for Extreme Rules that's happening this Saturday on Peacock in the United States and the WWE Network everywhere else. I wish I still had the WWE Network, but you know what? NordVPN, pay me. No, I'm kidding. So we got more White Rabbit teases. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm going to go through the White Rabbit teases first to get that out of the way, and then I'm going to go through the rest of the show. If you like this video here or any of the other podcasts I've done this week, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below, hit the bell notification for all other content that comes later this month or later this week, actually. We got, like I said, we got the SmackDown review coming this Friday. We got AEW Dynamite for this Wednesday. I'm also going to try to weave in a Extreme Rules prediction show. Probably get somebody on, help me out with that. We got the Extreme Rules review on Saturday night or Sunday, depending on how I feel after that show. Possible return of Bray Wyatt and all that stuff. And we're going to go through that right now. So, the White Rabbit teases. They were subtle. They started happening at the 9 o'clock hour. While the show was going on the air, we had Candice LeRae coming back, walking in the back. She runs into Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka, and flashes a QR code on the screen. In that little flash, we see a glitch, what looks to be the Fiend. An image of the Fiend, which goes back to an image Bray Wyatt post not that long ago of Bray Wyatt, which is the Fiend's mask. It's a weird looking thing. And then we got a QR code that leads you to the coordinates, which is Samson and Delilah poster are painting. I will go through the description of this. So, chosen by God, Samson was blessed with seeming superhuman strength that made him invincible as long as he had long hair. His head remained untouched, basically. When he told the secret to his wife, Delilah, he was captured and blinded, and his hair was cut. He regained his strength as soon as his hair grew back and was able to destroy the Philistine temple, killing 3,000 Philistines. It's either Philistines or Philistines. So what this dates back to is last year's WrestleMania, where Alexa Bliss turned on the Fiend, and that Bray Wyatt posted that whole thing out, which goes to something. But in that image, there was a coordinates. If you put those coordinates if you put in those coordinates on Google, you get the location of the Wells Fargo Center, which is in Philadelphia, the home of Extreme Rules on Saturday night. Then we had another QR code, which is a magic eye that reads MTA4MJ, either I or L. It's either one of those two, which reads, I believe, it reads 10822, which, if you think about it, is 10/8/22, the date for Extreme Rules. It gets even juicier here, because there's another. I'm not exactly sure if this is another Samson image, but in the thing, there's a number here, that's 6901209258022, and if you put that in the thing, it goes to a code for, it's the SKU SKU for White Rabbit milk. So there's that's an interesting little tidbit there. We also had predator language, which leads to thing, full quote for all abandoned hope. All hope abandoned ye who entered here. Which is the full quote. The full quote is, "Before me, things created were not, save things eternal, and eternal I endure. All hope abandon ye who enters here," which is all hope ye who exit here, which is the thing from the Firefly Funhouse. Then we had the binary code. I'm not gonna read the whole about numbers up, but there was a binary code that reads, translates to Gacy. Now, a lot of people jump to Joe Gacy. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll find out on NXT tomorrow. I will be watching NXT. I'm not reviewing it, but I will be watching it because it's the newest. It's the first NXT since the relaunch. So it's going to be the first live NXT since the relaunch. And maybe there's a QR code during Joe Gacy stuff. We'll find out. We'll see on that. But also we had a sign that walked through the crowd tonight. That spelled White Rabbit, but they spelled it WYYTRABAT. Now, if you rearrange those letters, it spells Bray Wyatt. It's at this point, I'm 100% sure it's Bray Wyatt at this point. Like, there's no other ways around it. It's Bray Wyatt. Another interesting thing that happened during the Alexa Bliss match was during her entrance. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but apparently the lights had went out, and then the lights came back on, and then during her match, the screen went pink or black, or pink or purple. I'm not sure. Maybe that was intentional. I don't know. So that's very interesting. But that's basically the latest on the QR code stuff for the Fiend and the Bray Wyatt stuff here tonight. So that's all I have there for the QR code stuff. I don't have very much else to add to that. So yeah, I don't have very much else to add to that. We also are gonna go through the rest of the show now. Again, we had a lot of stuff on the show. We had a contract signing. We had a no contact segment between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. We had Daniel Cormier involved with here because he's going to be the special referee for the Fight Pit match on Saturday night. We had a tag match between Judgment Day and AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio. We had some interesting booking decisions. Maybe some that I'm just baffled by. But there's that. So, but yeah, Raw opened with a promo, as the Raw always does. Balor, it's Judgment Day coming out. Balor says Edge was forced to quit wrestling 11 years ago, but he fought his way back and back to performing in the ring. Balor says that, as with most things in life, you can only outrun fate for so long. He says that Extreme Rules, he will act as the cruel hand of fate. He says that he'll do Edge a favor by beating him so badly that he will make him say, "I quit." Then Priest says that you basically Priest says that you shouldn't step to Judgment Day or you'll know what's going to happen. Dominic tells his father that he hates him. Okay. He says that his new family is the Judgment Day now. Balor addresses AJ Styles. Balor says that he could have ended his career last week, but he chose not to because he's his friend. He says the olive branch is still extended and tells him not to make him do bad things. So we'll see what happens on that. AJ Styles comes out, and followed by Rey Mysterio. Then we have an okay wrestling match, an okay tag match. Priest and Balor win after a distraction. because Ray was out there trying to, I guess, get distracted by Dom, who told his father to hit him. Ray said no. He got in the ring, and after the match, uh, Styles and Ray went at it a little bit, shoved a little matching thing. Jeff made them beat up Styles and AJ and Rey Mysterio. Uh, and that's how that ended there. Next up, we go to a backstage video with Bobby Lashley. Kevin Patrick approaches him, asking him what's next for him. Lashley says he will not be complacent and says that his mentality will never change no matter what. Mustafa Ali comes up from behind him. He says he's done waiting for someone to call him up. He says he's stepping up to the front of the line. Lashley says he'll make sure that he gets his opportunity before Ali demands a match with Lashley. So he gets his match. So later on tonight, we got in a minute. After this segment, after the next segment, we got a United States Championship match between Lashley and Mustafa Ali. Then we got a segment between Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa. Basically, Sami Zayn and the people who actually like Sami. Sami tells Jay a hilarious story as Solo stands there trying not to laugh. I noticed that. Jay walks in, the guy who doesn't like Jimmy, asks, "What's so funny?" Zayn says he had to be there before. Jay says that they're there to do business. The bloodline run into the Street Profits as Zayn says, or Sami, I'm going to say Sami because every time I say Zayn, it just sounds weird. Sami says that next week, the Raw season premiere will have the bloodline. Will be there basically because that is confirmed. That was confirmed last Friday on SmackDown. And they want to be ready to acknowledge him. Roman, that is. Montez Ford disrespects Reigns before Angelo Dawkins steps in. Solo Sikoa gets in his face and says we'll see him out there. So we got a match between Angelo Dawkins versus Solo Sikoa a little bit later on tonight. Next up, we get the United States Championship match. Fun little showing for Mustafa Ali, but in the end, Lashley locks in the hurt lock, and Ali does not tap out. He fades, passes out. Lashley retains the championship. After the match, Lashley goes to help up Ali, but Seth Rollins blindsides him with attack and hits the curb stomp, followed by a second one on the United States title. Rollins then spots Ali and hits him with a curb stomp as his own. Next up, we got the Rollins and Riddle face-off. Calls Bobby Lashley Bobby Trashley. Getting ready for Monday Night Rollins. He challenges Bobby Lashley to a championship match next week. That happened. I believe that was in the promo. It was either later on, one of those two. I know that wasn't happened. Then we got a video. We had a video package about the fight pit showing what is the fight pit, showing highlights from the two matches from the fight pit, which was the first one being Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher, and then obviously, basically both of them had Timothy, which is weird that they're doing a fight pit match without the dude who's been in the fight pit. I don't know. It's just the guy who's somewhat undefeated in the fight pit, I guess. So then they couldn't touch each other. Daniel Cormier comes up and says that he's, basically has not going to stand for any shit, any stupid shenanigans and shit like that. So that's going to happen on Saturday. Daniel Cormier is rumored to possibly be Brock Lesnar's opponent at Saudi Arabia. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Fucks that show completely. Another reason for me not to give a shit about Crown Jewel. Then we go to the backstage segment, which has the QR code. We talked about that, but she runs into Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka, who wish her luck in her upcoming match with Dakota Kai. Then we go to backstage with The Miz, who says his issues is with the lowlife Dexter Lumis will end tonight. He says that he isn't leaving until he is sure that something is done, and says nothing on his birthday celebration next week. We'll see Loomis. Then we see Loomis is spying on him in the background. It looks like we're going to do a birthday celebration with The Miz next week, which is probably going to get fucked over by Dexter Lumis. Then we have a Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai. This was not very good, if I'm being honest. And these two are, I love these two, but this was not very good, in my opinion. No one seemed to care about it. And Candice LeRae lost her second match on the main roster. I don't know how I feel about that. And it was a roll up. So it was the most devastating move in all in wrestling is the roll up. So I don't know how I feel about that. Then we go to Johnny Gargano backstage. This was actually pretty funny. Dexter Lumis appears for a split second, but we then see The Miz spying on some equipment, sleeping on some equipment. I don't know if that's why he's spying for. Then when he wakes up, he's holding a picture, holding a character. I'm just calling it a picture painting himself and Lumis. Then we got Gargano versus Otis. Fun little match, but which surprised me a little bit was Gargano loses, but it was often a distraction by Austin Theory, and Otis hits his finisher for the win. That really surprised me. After the match, the trio, which was Otis, Chad Gable, and Austin Theory, beat up Gargano. Out comes Braun Strowman. He heads to the ring and just absolutely beats the ever-living piss out of Chad Gable. Chad Gable at one point hit a phenomenal, impressive German suplex on Braun Strowman for a 3 that was not counted as a 3. I'm just going to be honest with you. Braun Strowman wins with a powerbomb. We go to the back. Bobby Lashley is checked on by a medical physician. Kevin Patrick, that little geek, comes back up again, bothers people, asks how he's doing. He says Seth Rollins is going to crush. He's going to crush Rollins next week, which is for the US title next week, which should be good. That was their match last week. I believe their match was last week. It was either last week or the week before. The match they had was phenomenal. Bobby Lashley's doing some great work as the United States champion, so I'm enjoying that. Corey Graves gets in the ring to introduce Bayley and Bianca Belair for their respective contract signings. This is a great promo. Bayley basically says the stuff that you see with Bianca Belair in the crowd now, the signs and the little girls trying to dress like her and all that stuff, that was with Bayley a few years ago. And then Bianca retorts and says, well, you know, that Bayley left basically, and you fucking don't matter anymore and whatnot and stuff like that. This is all a play though. They signed the contract. I believe they did. I think they signed the contract. But both Bayley starts attacking Dakota. Or not Dakota. Bayley starts attacking Bianca, and in the back, Dakota and Io are beating up Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Asuka gets Pillmanized, which, if you don't know what Pillmanized is, it's in 1997, we did a segment with Austin took a steel chair, wrapped it around Brian Pillman's ankle, and he dropped his leg on it, stomped on it with his foot, and crushed the man's leg. And then that was, dubbed Pillmanizing. So that's what Pillmanizing is for people who weren't sure what it meant. Bliss then challenges IYO SKY to a match a little later on tonight, so that's the main event. Alexa versus IYO SKY. Back from break, commercial runs down the Extreme Rules card, which looks great on paper, by the way. I'm actually outside of the White Rabbit stuff, I'm actually looking forward to this pay-per-view, because there's some great matches on this show that's going to be happening. So Sekoa, Sami Zayn, and Usos go to the ring, followed by the Street Profits. Solo Sekoa wins. There was some little miscommunication between the Usos, Solo Sekoa, and mainly Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Solo Sekoa hits the spinning solo for the win. Not much here. Angelo Dawkins may, I don't know. Apparently, um, Montez Ford is injured. I don't know how if it's legit or not. We'll find out. Maybe we'll find out if Sean Ross Sapp put something up there on that. Who knows? Um, I will have some news on that. On the uh, I will have news on Cody Rhodes in a second. I'm going to put that actually talk about that in a little bit. Um, and then we're backstage. Otis and Austin Theory ask that were there. He asked Chad Gable where Chad Gable is. He walks in and batters him from his match earlier. He says he will end Gargano once and for all next week. So we got Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano, which is surprised they're not doing it on the pay per view. I thought they were going to put that on the pay per view, but they're not. Uh, then we got an Edge promo, basically saying that he's going to beat the shit out of Finn Balor, and he's going to beat him and to the point where he says, "I quit." Makes Finn Balor "I quit," say "I quit." How I think they're going to get, because I think Finn Balor's winning that match, but I'm going to say my prediction on how we're going to get there. For the prediction video, for the prediction episode, or whenever we do that. Then we get the main event. We'll run down next week's Raw. So we have the United States Championship match between Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley. We have Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano. We have the Bloodline who's going to be there, and then we have the DX 25th anniversary, I believe, celebration without Daddy Ass himself. Billy Gunn. It's going to be Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, and X Pac. So that should be good. The main event: IYO SKY versus Alexa Bliss. IYO SKY wins with a moonsault. A little bit. There was a little distraction. It was actually a fun little match. I love IYO Shirai. She's one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. Top. She's in my. She is. She will still be in my top 10. She's not my favorite women's wrestler right now. That actually goes to Utami Hayashishita, but she's still in my top 10. Some good stuff. At first start, Bliss is just beating the hell out of Shirai here, and near the end, because of the distraction, she hits the Meteora, and then I believe she hit the Meteora at one point, and hits her beautiful, beautiful moonsault for the win. After the match, Damage Control beat up Alexa Bliss. Dakota Kai grabs a ladder from underneath the ring. Belair tries to get involved and help Bliss. They beat the shit out of Bianca Belair. Then Asuka tries to come down here with a Pillmanized leg and he fucking whacked the ever living shit out of Dakota Kai with the damn kendo stick. And then they beat up Asuka. And then they set up the ladder. Damage Control all crimes ladder with Bayley holding the Raw Women's title as Raw goes off the air. I really want Bianca Belair to lose the championship. I'm not feeling her title reign. Like, her title reign since beating Becky at WrestleMania has been a letdown, if I'm being honest. Like, she had a match with who did she wrestle? Didn't she just wrestle like Carmella on one pay-per-view? This, like, her title run has not been that great. I mean, it's been terrible. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, she had two great matches with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch I'm assuming will be back before Survivor Series. Because I feel like she's gonna be on the babyface team for that War Games match. But that's how Raw went off the air. Raw was not a bad show. Again, it was last week's Raw was pretty. I enjoyed Raw last. Well, I think I said this was Triple H's best Raw since he took over last week. It was all right. I'll give the show a 4 out of if we're gonna release it out of 1 out of 5, 0 out of 5, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 for this week. If we're rating it out of a 1 out of 10, I give it a 4 out of 10, I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because it's not. That's what I would do here. But that was Raw. Let's talk about this Cody Rhodes thing real quick because I want to give because I saw this news earlier today, and it's WWE World Title news here. This is from Fightful Select. Go subscribe to Fightful Select. They did some good work here. So a lot of people assumed that during the summer he was going to be poised to win the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship, whichever one they did, or both. That was never the plan. I do think he's supposed to win the Money in the Bank, but here's what Fightful Select had to say. Fightful spoke to numerous sources in WWE who said that at the time that Cody Rhodes sustained his injury, Vince McMahon had not solidified plans to make Cody Rhodes the WWE or Universal Champion. We assumed it was happening, but we've heard that there were not firm plans for a title change in place for that time. Instead, we were told that Vince McMahon was all aboard the Roman Reigns double title reign. And there weren't ideas floated from Vince that would have indicated he was ready to make that move. So I'm hoping plans have changed now that Triple H is involved because at this point I don't want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. If Cody Rhodes is going to win the Royal Rumble, the main event of WrestleMania should be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I don't care about the Universal Championship. Put it on for the WWE Championship. Have Roman drop the Universal title or something to somebody. I don't know. So there's all that. Also, we got Royal Rumble news here. The tickets for Royal Rumble have sold over 25,000 tickets, which is a new record for the event as far as paid tickets and gross revenue for the first sale of the weekend. That's very, very good. They're in the Alamo Dome this year, which I believe for the 2017 Royal Rumble, over 52,000 20 people were in attendance for the 2017 Royal Rumble. Will they over do that this year? Who knows? Or next year? Who knows? If you guys want my early predictions for the Royal Rumble this year, or not this year, at the for next year's Royal Rumble, I'm going with Cody Rhodes for the men, and I'm going with Rhea Ripley for the women. I think because Rhea Ripley at this point is still owed a championship match. I mean, a lot of people keep forgetting this. I didn't forget it. She won the right to challenge Bianca Belair for the title, and because she got hurt, she didn't get to do the title match. So, are we hopefully going to get there? Who knows? But that's all I have for you tonight. That was Monday Night Raw. I will see you back here for AEW Dynamite. Got a huge show there. A few couple matches announced for that show. I find out earlier today during Raw that's going to be. It wasn't that earlier today for Raw. It was. So here is the card right now. So we have Wardlow defending the TNT Championship against Brian Cage. We have Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho versus Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. Hangman Page versus Roosh. Tony Storm and Athena Willow Nightingale with Saraya in their corner, taking on Jamie Hayter, Serena Deeb, Penelope Ford with Dr. Britt Baker in their corner. MJF versus Wheeler Yuta. Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal. Luchasaurus is in action. We have a national scissoring day with the AEW Tag Team Champions, the Acclaimed. That is all happening on Wednesday Night Dynamite. That should be some fun. It's going to be the 2-year anniversary? No, the 3-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite. And it's interesting. It's going to be in the same arena, same building, same everything that the first show took place in Washington, D.C. So there's that. We may hear from the AEW champions, Jon Moxley, who will be facing Hangman Page in Cincinnati, Ohio, on October the 18th. Chris Jericho will be taking on Bryan Danielson on where's this date? October the 12th in Toronto. So that's next week. We also have this weekend. We have a live Rampage. We do know that it's going to be Dark Order's 10 versus Andrade El Idolo. If Andrade loses, he leaves AEW. We also have Battle of the Belts 4. I don't think we have any matches announced for Battle of the Belts 4. Let me find out. Oh, yeah, no. The Packett versus Trent Beretta for the All Atlantic Championship was announced for Battle of the Belts 4, which is going to happen the same night. So for the first time in Rampage, that's two different shows. This is going to be a different one show on one show back to back. So that's all that is everything that I have for you guys tonight. Wednesday, like I said, AEW Dynamite review. We got the SmackDown review. We're gonna do AEW, We're gonna do WWE Extreme Rules predictions. Well, let's look at the match card so far for Extreme Rules. Let's go through this card here. I'm not gonna go through the the review the predictions, but the matches are as follows. We got the Extreme Rules match for the Raw SmackDown Women's Championship. Liv Morgan defends against Ronda Rousey. We have the Fight Pit match with Daniel Cormier as the referee. Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. We have the strap match with Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. Bianca Belair defends the Raw Women's title in a ladder match against Bayley. Edge and Finn Balor in an I Quit match. The Brawling Brutes and Imperium go in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Speaking of the Brawling Brutes, they will be on NXT tomorrow. So that should be very, very fun. See what's going to happen there. Let's see I don't know what they're going to be on NXT for, but I'm interested. So there's that. I will be watching NXT to see what this new NXT looks like. If there's going to be a new set, if there's going to be a new ring looking thing, will they go back to the black ring mat, the one that they had when they were in Full Sail? I always loved the black ring mat and the yellow ropes and all that stuff. That was some. I enjoyed that look because that just looked different from everything else. Anyway, I have been Matt the Misfit. You are the Misfit Nation. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Hit the like button, the bell notification, comment down below, follow the Twitter at Misfit Wrestle TV. All that good stuff. I will see you Wednesday for Dynamite. Good night, everybody.